Mr. Black. Today I'm going to go over how to make a fire reflector for intermediate Bushclass at Bushcraft USA. The one we're going to go over is this one here. Pretty traditional, standard setup. It's 4 poles. This is looking down on it. 4 support poles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 5th here. I use that in the construction of this. One of the things though that is going to need to happen when this is made is that you're going to have to be able to support your weight, basically. You don't have to stand on it or nothing like that, but I would like to see you at least, sit on it like this. Sit on it, pick your feet up, kind of thing. Alright, it's got to be solid, and we'll go over some of the reasons for that later. But now I'm going to break this down and just show you how to make it real quick. Operational Extras YouTube channel. Today I'm going to go over making a fire reflector, which is this here. The one we're going to make is a traditional, time-tested, proven style, which is going to have, as far as parts, 1, 2, 3, 4 support uprights, which are pounded into the ground. You're going to need something to tie. This is not going to be the best example right here, but that's what I had when I made this. And you're going to need to cut enough timber, arm size sticks to get at least this high, which is about knee high. Alright, so about a knee high solid reflector. Alright, one of the things that I'd like to see from everyone, and there's a few reasons for this. I'd like to see the structure be able to hold your weight, either like in a forward like push-up position or sitting, with your feet off the ground. Alright. Moccasins are not required, but possible extra points for that. Alright. Okay, here's my pack. It's pretty much ready to go, minus the food and a few specialty items that I might carry. So what I really like to see on the intermediate assignment here is to use the tools that you use. I mentioned before, if that's a chainsaw, if that's a bow saw, buck saw, folding saw, Swiss Army knife saw, whatever you use, try to use that as much as you can. You can use combinations if you just want to test out a new machete, or if you just want to try out a new knife, that's fine too. So I'm going to lay out the tools that I'm going to use to make this. The first probably being the hatchet. I know is ready to go. So, well, I'll pull this out. That's the folding saw and the small hatchet and the knife, which is all set up in here. I also have the metal match, which is going to be used to light the fire. Okay, the first part is going to cut the 4 support poles. These are the uprights. They're going to hold the logs. So this one's pretty close to being cut through. Finish with that. Alright. So here's that. I'm going to go ahead and cut one more out of this billet, because the ones I used yesterday were not that good. Right in the knot. Excellent. first part, 4 poles cut to length. And here's another one. This is different wood. Okay. The next part is going to be sharpen the poles. 2 of these are sharpened already. And get this one pointy enough to stick into soft ground. Points. Okay, 4 poles cut and sharpened. All right. Use a special guest on this. This is from one of my old videos. Alright. At this point, I'm going to get the log that you're going to use for your base. On this, like I said, cut enough to stack them knee high. And the forearm, depending on, I guess, what size dude you are or gal, so I don't know, 2, 3, 4 inches. We want this to be pretty beefy as far as a fire reflector. All right, so use some good stout logs. We'll go over on this side. In. I got this for width. Again, I'm pretty much using the same holes that I used on the mock-up yesterday. That's what we're looking at now. This is pole number 3, upright number 3. I'm going to go ahead and just pound this one in and get 4 up too. Okay, at this point, I'm going to stack in the logs. If you have anything like this, use it to your advantage. You don't want it on the front, the fire's going to be here, but use it to your advantage as far as balance of the other logs you're going to stack on it. So put it towards the back. Little things like that will help you out, get this solid. At this point, I stacked them into the upright supports, and everything's looking pretty solid. I did notice this when I was stacking them in, this odd knot. I can cut it off, or this limb. I can cut it off, but I'm going to kind of use that to my advantage. So with that, I don't want that towards the fire because I don't want any edges to catch on, but I'm going to use that just as a kickstand to help keep this flat since it's one of the basic logs. Alright, just start stacking them in. Okay, on that, I'm going to stop 2 from the top at the knee high, a little higher than knee, and the reason is I'm going to tie it off at this point. It would probably be best to use non-flammable material, but I'm going to use 550 cord. If it's going to burn the cord, the fire's probably too close to the reflector, so you'll need to adjust it anyway. So it'll also be a good little monitor. You don't need to tie it, but it's a good thing that you do. You could use natural cordage, which you also have to be careful that it doesn't burn, but what you're tying is this. Alright, you're tying these two together. And what that's going to do is cinch them down so it's tight and solid. I got 2 cameras up and I was looking at the wrong one, so I hope that all made sense. I'll look at this and do it again if not. Anyways, pressing on with the fire reflector. I'm going to grab some cord now, and again it's going to be stuff that I would have in my pack. Hopefully I have some cord. This is the tool bundle. There's the cords. So I'll probably just use this. This looks like old scrap stuff. And it's going to be more than enough. To do what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a Canadian jam overhand knot at the end like this. There's a couple ways you could do it. Pass it through there or just tie it. Alright, so anyways, Woodsman has some great videos on the Canadian jam, but that's the one I'm going to utilize for this. And the only thing, once I'm done cinching it, I'm going to tie another overhand knot as a stopper knot, so it's not coming undone. I'm going to have to cut that line. Same thing, Canadian jam. We're going to cinch that down. Pull this one this way, tighten the other one that way. It's not that big of a deal, but let's get this redundant and opposite. Okay. I'll walk the camera over now, get a little closer look at that. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I stopped. And the reason I want to stop there is to secure the whole mess, basically, for lack of a technical term. I'm going to tap this down a little further. Well, you can see how tight that is actually. That's a good demo. Alright, same thing on the other side. And the reason I tied it there is I want to leave the top two open. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get that one in there. It's so tight on that side. Yeah, I probably have to pound that in. But that's a good thing, because that's just going to give some more pressure. Well, that kind of worked out good. I got a hole here. Now, that could be bad and it could be good. I'm not going to lose too much heat out of there as far as the reflection. The good thing is, though, I could utilize that crack for either hanging pots or drying socks. So that's a good thing, but I am going to try to straighten that out so I have the proper reflection. That is a good thing, though, and that's one of the reasons to leave the top two open, so you could use it for either cooking. You put your frying pan handles in there to keep food warm, all kinds of different things, and I'll show some demos of that here in a sec. I'm going to make some adjustments on this. Let's flatten the log. Alright. Alright, somewhere in that melee I debarked my knuckle. Just scraped a little bit on the bark, but everything's good. Here's the key deal. I got what I think to be a pretty solid support, and I would test it out solely before doing it, but if you could, definitely give it a try, at least to get it this solid. So that push-up position. Alright, that's good. Or you can test it like this. Just kind of freestand, feet off the ground. So it passed both of those tests. I'm not going to rock and roll too much on the thing, but anyways, that's what we're looking for: a solid reflector, a fire reflector. All right. Okay, just a quick tour of the little camp now and the way it's set up with the fire reflector. I got about a 5 foot distance to the front of the shelter. The shelter is pretty close in line with the reflector. So as I back into the shelter, you can see that it's about the same. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. The fire's going to go here, about where this stick is, so it's not too close, and that should reflect plenty of heat back into this area where I'm sitting. So I'm going to get a little fire up and do a few stills just so you have the complete picture of this little setup.
Don't cut our hair, pony boy. You're gonna bleach yours. They'll have the descriptions in the paper. We can't fit them, man.
No, sir.
Look, we'd have to anyway if we got caught. You know the first thing the judge does is make you get a haircut.
I don't see why.
I'm gonna cut mine off too and wash all the grease out.
No, sir. You ain't touching my hair.
My papa dog ain't here no more. I snapped it off coming through that door. God's gotta go. It's way too low. He don't want it mad. Rice rocking in a cat. Oh, yeah. I just grease it up. I ain't combing it back. I miss my hair, I want it back. Want to hear my call, gotta get my oil. Now it's out on the floor, oh, it ain't mine no more. My pamper dog ain't big no more. It's lying down on Tracy's floor. Gotta glue it back. My Union Jack. Gonna take it home. Woo, to my rockabilly gone. Gonna take it home. Woo, to my rockabilly gone. Gonna take it home. My rockabilly gone. Woo!
All right, there's a shot of the fire, the reflector, and the little shelter. So wanted to share this with you though. I got two just landscape type logs cut I think it's pine. And then I made this. It's just rolled or grass rolled tightly into bundles and then wrapped in parachute material, and it makes a thin sleeping pad. Just inside of the hobo camp. Again, this is my backyard. I'm not in the middle of the wilderness or anything, but as I switch this over, at this point I don't really care where I'm at because I'm definitely not here. This is awesome. Got a nice little fire going. Trying to adjust this monopod thingy I got, and that's it. That's the setup. So I hope that helped. I know it's long, dragged out, but I'm telling you, taking a little extra time to build a solid reflector is going to pay off in a lot of ways. I mentioned before, you could roast meat right there. All right, you can dry socks, pull it back a little bit, thin it out, put the stick in here. All right, and dry whatever, dry your gloves. It's a little close and a little hot right now, but you get the picture. So a solid platform is going to help you do many other tasks. So that's why it's not just make a a reflector. In that case, you could just go flip a rock, like that, or you could build a simple slat one like that. But this is going to be multi-purpose tool, basically. All right. Again, cooking. You could put frying pan handles in here, hold them about right here to keep food warm. Different purposes for that. Anyways, I'm not going to go on and on. Thank you very much for watching this. Thank you very much for watching. I had a ball making this. Like I said, I'm in my backyard, not out in the wilderness, but I had a ball doing this. I needed a little challenge, and this was fun. I got to work on my own shelter craft, I got to work on my fire craft, and I got to work on my reflector building craft, my wood craft, and I got the gear out other than my work gear. So thanks for letting me do this, guys. Truly appreciate it. I'm gonna have some hot water here in a second and have a hot drink, and I might even sleep in here tonight. What the heck, it's a solid camp. I got a bunch of little toads bouncing around, but other than that, it's good. Take care. Thanks for watching, and have fun with these bush classes. Quick note on that. I'm sorry, I got to tell you. Quick note on that. Take advantage of this stuff. It's not every day that you got a world-class wilderness dude like IA Woodsman. A lot of the other instructors, I'm telling you, they're going out of their way, giving some good hard-earned information for nothing. World-class dudes, all of them. So take advantage of these classes, have fun with it, don't take it too serious, but be safe and enjoy the hell out of it, because I'm telling you, this don't happen every day.